dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's two dudes with attitudes, the podcast that gets it popping with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and it is our WWE edition. What's good? How you feeling about wrestling right now, huh? Especially WWE. How you feeling about it? How you feeling? Anything happened this week? I don't think so, right? No, anything big or
yeah, nothing major.
happening?
It's been kind of lame. It's been kind of quiet. No, but WWE is on fire right now, man. WWE is killing it, like in all phases. Every brand, every PLE is getting better and better. They are just on a roll right now. So,
yes, sir.
It's been
they are
pretty
100%.
fun to watch.
And I agree. And you have some news, so let's get into it with being on fire. Let's hear it. What's your news for the WWE this week?
Yeah, news with air quotes around it, but Becky Lynch is rumored to be a free agent as of Saturday morning. Her contract with the WWE officially runs out. They have not agreed to new terms on a deal, and the rumors are running rampant that she's going to be taking an extended leave of absence to be with her children, or I don't know if she has one child or two children, but and with Seth Rollins, who's also just currently nursing. Yeah, just one. So then she's going to be home with their daughter, and then she's going to be with Seth Rollins, who's also at home nursing a knee injury that he sustained at WrestleMania. So rumors are running rampant, of course, that she's not going to re-sign with the WWE. There's already that graphic spreading all over X that Rebecca Quinn is all elite, and I don't see that happening. I just don't see her leaving. The only thing I could see is maybe she's kind of at that crossroads with like Edge was, where what else can I do here? What else do I have left to accomplish? I mean, she's main evented WrestleMania. She's won every championship there is to win. What else really is there for her to do? But at the same time, Seth Rollins has just re-signed with the WWE, and I just don't see her going to AEW. Not right now at this moment. But people seem to think that she is.
Well, okay. People don't. They're bullshitters. All AEW hardcores are bull. Those are the only people. Anyone who's a realistic human being who watches wrestling knows that it's not happening. Here's the thing. One, you're saying she's accomplished everything in WWE. I fully agree with that. What is she going to accomplish in AEW? She's going to go win the TBS championship. She's going to win none of that is going to help her legacy. AEW has helped nobody's legacy from WWE. Name one person, WWE star, who went over to AEW whose legacy has now profited. It's stupid. And that's not me dogging AEW. Just AEW isn't there yet. They're not that brand yet. Swerve Strickland. Okay, there's one. I'll give you one. Yeah. All right. But that's about to get ruined anyway. We'll talk about that tomorrow. that did not. But here's the thing: CM Punk's the only person to go from WWE to AEW where the needle was moved. Do you remember they were doing 1 million views on Dynamite when he came over? Yeah, how's that working out for them? So here's the thing: like, it's just, and secondly, they legit own a bus where they like travel with their entire family on the, like, why would she leave that? It's nonsense. It's for a couple extra bucks on the side. They're rich, they're doing fine. She's going absolutely nowhere. The end. There's a 0% chance. Zero.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that if she were to surprisingly go to AEW, would they hit 1 million views? Do you think she's a needle mover?
No.
Sorry.
I think she's bigger than Sasha Banks, but if Edge couldn't do it, like, when I think about stars, right? Like, you're going to tell me that Edge isn't bigger than Becky Lynch. Like, Becky Lynch is top 5 biggest stars, but Edge has been doing this since the Attitude Era, man. Like, he couldn't do it. Punk did it, yes, but I don't think Becky Lynch has that same Just AEW doesn't look at Mercedes. I know when she came out and she was like, I was worth the wait, right? That's all she does is her stupid, like sexy red dances. Like it's so stupid. Like, no, it wasn't worth the wait, girl. That's why no one gave a crap. That's why nobody like tuned in. Nobody, you can't. I just feel like she'd be wasted. There's no, and she knows that. I think wrestlers. Look, who have they taken recently? Nobody. They've only gotten guys from New Japan or other people who are already. Will Ospreay was already in AEW. I hate that people are like, "Oh, Trips messed up and didn't sign him in NXT." He was. He's wrestled in AEW a billion times. Not like he was like a signed new talent. It's so dumb. But no, I truly don't. I don't think anybody is a needle mover again, unless it would be somebody like the freaking Rock who went over there, or Brock Lesnar. I actually think. And this has nothing to dog. I actually think Goldberg going there would be a needle mover, to be honest with you, just because I think it would be oh man, they signed Goldberg. What are you going to do? Because there's rumors he's going to go. But Becky, signing big talent just hasn't worked for them, needle moving wise. In Punk, he's it, man. It's crazy to say. It's sad. It's just it's
if they got her, I don't know if she would necessarily move the needle, but I think it would be a shot in the arm. For not that AEW needs a shot in the, not that their women's division needs a shot in the arm. They already have the best women's division, but that would be a huge signing in my opinion. But
I think NXT has the best women's division. But I'll give it to you. AEW's good too. They're both doing their damn thing. So it is what. And that's not a knock on me on AEW. I just don't think AEW is there yet. And I think we're going to get into a little NXT show where we're going to start talking about how long they're going to be the number 2 show. But let's another thing in news. I don't know if we should talk about that because NXT hasn't talked. But supposedly Trips has signed a deal with TNA, and they're going to be. Maybe we can talk about that later. But anyway,
we'll all
right,
that's big news.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the king and queen of the ring in Saudi. And boy, was this a show. There's nothing better, right, than us having a weekend of a PLE and a pay-per-view from AEW where neither of them were really hyped. I didn't really give 2 craps about either pay-per-view, to be honest, but holy cow, did they both bring it almost perfect from the start of King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring until the end of Double or Nothing. It was a pretty damn great weekend to be a pro wrestling fan. We'll get into Double or Nothing tomorrow, but let's get into King of Queen of the Ring, and we're going to do our famous new 2 thumbs with attitudes rankings where it's got to be either an 80% or better. So if it is a 79%, in our opinions, we are giving it a thumbs down. We are strict here. Thumbs up if it's better. Let's see what we do. Let's start with the first match. There's only 5, so it'll go quick. I kind of like this 5-match shit, by the way.
Yeah, I can get behind it.
Ended before 3 hours. How long was Double or Nothing? 5.5 hours? 6 hours?
Too long.
7? That thing went
and
on
that's including a big return with the 30-minute promo and everything. But it's about 5.5 hours.
Yeah, it was way too long.
Yeah.
Wait. All right, so let's get in. Yeah, what?
And you have to pay for it. That's the other thing.
100. Yeah, they need to get over that. All right, let's get into it. What was the first match that we're going to rate?
It was Becky Lynch, speaking of, versus Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's World Championship.
All right, you're up first.
We all should know the outcome of this, but Liv Morgan beat Becky Lynch because of Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio slid a chair into the ring, told Becky Lynch to grab it, and Becky Lynch refused to grab it. And then so instead, Liv Morgan grabbed it and hit Becky Lynch in the head or in the back with it while the referee was arguing with Dirty Dom. And then Liv Morgan pins Becky Lynch to win the Women's World Championship. I'm going to give this match, the match itself wasn't my favorite. The story, the story with Dirty Dom getting involved and then all the stuff that happened afterwards on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to give it thumbs up. I'm going to give it thumbs up. The story saved the match, in my opinion. The match was meh, in my opinion. And it just kind of felt like, I don't know. I don't know really what I expected, but yeah, I thought the story is what saved the match in this situation.
All right, respect. I liked it. I thought it was a good match. I gave it a thumbs up overall. Everything. I was intrigued. I thought it was a hot opener. I thought it was better than opening with one of the King or Queen finals.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the right person won. I think I was very upset. I don't think I know. I was very upset when she didn't win the Battle Royal. But as we always say, in Triple H, we trust. I think he delivered nicely. It was well done. This is better for her, especially with the follow-up on Raw. So yeah, I give it a
Yeah.
thumbs up as well. Thumbs up as well. All right, what's next?
All right, the next match, I believe, was Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to go thumbs down.
Whoa.
I don't know. There was just something about this match that didn't. I don't know. I thought so we all know that Sami Zayn retained.
Huh?
And because Otis got involved, Bronson Reed took a Helluva kick while Chad Gable was yelling at Otis, and Bronson Reed took the pin. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, and that's exactly what did transpire. But I don't know. I'm just something about this just didn't hit for me, and I can't quite figure out why. I can't quite figure out what it is. Maybe it's because we just they went back to back of questionable interferences, and so it was just like, okay, we just saw this with Dirty Dom. Now we're seeing it with Otis and Chad Gable, except it had a different result this time. I don't really know, but and then Bronson Reed just being in the match, like he was gone for like 30% of the match while they were like fighting at ringside and stuff. It was just like, where the heck did he go? And then he just shows up out of nowhere. I don't know. I just the match, it was fine, but I'm gonna go thumbs down in general. I don't think it was above an 80% or above.
Oh, all right. I'm going to disagree. I give it a thumbs up. I thought it was. I enjoyed this match. This was one of the ones I enjoyed most, actually. I didn't think it was the best match. Don't quote me on that. But I thought it was one of the better matches. I enjoyed it. I like the outcome. I like Otis, how he did it and costing Chad Gable. I like that Bronson Reed took the pin. It was everything I predicted perfectly. I think you did as well. Sami retains. I thought the crowd was into. I thought it had high drama. Matches aren't all about hoop-de-doos and loop-de-doos.
Yeah.
It's about story, and I dug it. So I say thumbs up.
I'll give credit to Sami Zayn. He is super over every time he goes to Saudi Arabia. You can tell he loves being there, and so I'm happy for him that he's able to go there and be at peace and not have to worry about his life being threatened or anything like that. So happy for him.
His life is not threatened there. They worship him. Yeah. All right. I think it's Queen of the Ring time, right?
Yes. The Queen of the Ring finals. It was Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax, or Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. Nia Jax gets the win and is officially crowned the 2024 Queen of the Ring, which means she gets a championship match against Bayley or whoever the women's champion is at SummerSlam. We all know it's probably going to be Bayley. So,
well, she doesn't wrestle, so you can't lose the title. If
she's not, and she's barely promoted. Yeah, I didn't even know. I forgot she was. I had to look up who the champion was on SmackDown for a minute ago. This match to me, I'm gonna give it thumbs up. I thought that. The ending for me where it just abruptly ended, where she just like sat on her and crushed her and boom, pinned her.
Well, she tried to do the move and she like reversed it. I thought it was cool. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
But I thought, I mean, it just ended abruptly for me. But I was just so happy for Nia Jax to get this win. She deserves it. It was well overdue. She's been putting in banger after banger after banger after banger on Raw and on SmackDown. She's just been. She deserves this moment. And, with all the negativity and criticism that she received when she came back about hurting people and being an injury liability, and her coming back at number 30 in last year's Royal Rumble to basically, no pop whatsoever, to coming back later on in the year to, a bunch of fans chastising her, to just the significant improvements she's made in the ring. She deserves this win. I'm happy for her. And because of that, I give it a thumbs up.
Man, I feel like me and you have two different vibes for this King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. I was like all over everything. I give it a thumbs up. I actually thought this was her best match. I think she's improved so much. Too. I think she did the squashes, but I love that reverse at the end. I love that Valkyria got offense in, but not enough to make her feel like a threat. I loved the ending where Triple H gave it to a heel and like hugged her because she was genuinely emotional and happy, and she cried in Triple H's arms even as a heel, and she got over that and then talked crap to the crowd afterwards.
Oh, I
I mean,
loved it. Yeah.
she just did everything, so it was like a real moment, and then went back to wrestling and the story. It was just so great, and I cannot give her any enough. She might be my favorite right now. Liv Morgan got me in my feelings, but she's there. She and all of wrestling, especially WWE. She's one of my favorites right now, and I think it's just that much better because not only were fans like hard, I mean, they were sending her threats and everything,
They were
like, get out of
terrible.
here, and you
Yeah.
don't deserve to be here. And they've never wrestled a day in her life and have no idea if her hurting people was true or not. They just go off the damn internet and chastise people. It's just stupid. But props to Nia Jax. Thumbs up, phenomenal match.
Yeah, kudos to her. It was a great match, and it made Valkyria look good too. Valkyria looks like a star.
Yep.
She put up a great fight. I think we both predicted that we thought this was going to be a squash match, and it was anything but that.
Mhm.
You know, Valkyria put up a great fight. She's got a bright future ahead of her as well on the main roster, and this was really kind of almost her coming out party. I think there's going to be
Mhm.
more big moments for her in the future, but this was one of them, and I was happy to see it.
She'll get bigger now without Becky Lynch. Every time Becky
Yeah.
Lynch tries to give her a rub, I feel like that's a
It's
negative.
because
But anyway.
Becky would be in AEW, so
Oh, that's right. Wrestling
Yeah.
Britt Baker. All right, let's get it. Oh, is she still in there? All right. King of the Ring time. You ready? What you got?
thumbs up. I mean, I thought this was. I didn't like the ending of his shoulder not being on the mat because I thought it made me think that they legitimately messed it up and that there was a botch. But then they interviewed Triple H later on in the show, and right before the main event, and he said that, you know, from my vantage point, I was out there and it looked like I couldn't see, but then he saw the replay, and so it makes me think that there's more to this coming up. There's maybe going to be a rematch or something in the future. So now that they've addressed it, and I like that they addressed it instead of just ignoring it.
Mhm.
But Gunther beats Randy Orton. I thought this was a phenomenal match. I thought Randy Orton brought it. I thought Gunther, as always, I think he's the best pound for pound wrestler in the WWE at the moment. And I think he continues to get better and better. He looked really good. I give this match a thumbs up. It was the right decision from the very beginning. And even though I predicted it was going to be Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga in the finals, Gunther winning is the 100% the right decision.
I mean, you were close. You got nobody. All right, here's the thing, right? So boom.
I like that.
But I thought this was easily the match of the night, if not the match of the entire paper of the weekend. A thumbs up for Sheezy, thumbs up. The ending did not take away from it. I don't care what anybody says, and maybe we'll talk about this more and more because other things happen, but this was Botch City at its fine. And I don't want to say botch. I hate botch. It wasn't Botch City, but you can tell that the referee like realized it, so he like shifted. He like moved his whole body to like finish the count. I think Gunther just lifted him up to. I think it was just shit happens, man. This is live television wrestling at its finest. It's gonna happen, and I think the ref made the decision that instead of messing it up and having them restart it, he just moved his way and counted it. And I like that Triple H, Vince McMahon would never do that, and we probably are. Sometimes bad things make good things happen. Now we'll probably get Gunther Randy too at some point. I'm all for it. I dug it still, but yeah. I was very confused by it, but the announcers didn't really talk, and they kind of did. I feel like they were like, oh, shoot, well, we're going to have to bring it up at some point. And I like that Triple H did an interview and brought it up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So good on him.
I like that too. And that's what made me, that took it from a thumbs down to me to a thumbs up because they brought it up. They addressed it because otherwise it was just like, oh, well, his shoulder clearly wasn't down. So we have to just brush it under the rug, Vince McMahon style. And, you know, that was all supposed to happen. That was part of the plan and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like I'm happy that they addressed it. I'm happy that they brought it up, and it does, you know, make you question if there is going to be more matches in the future. So when they
brand, so we'll see.
But when they brought it up and they addressed it, and I like that they had Triple H address it and not Gunther or Randy or Michael Cole or, you know, Corey. I like that Triple H himself addressed it, and I thought that was the right way to do it, and that took it from a thumbs down to a thumbs up for me. Just that alone.
All right. Main event time. You ready? The King, Logan Paul versus the Jester, Cody. Just kidding. It's all Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul. What'd you think?
You know what? I'm gonna go thumbs down. This match.
You did 2 thumbs down on this
Yeah,
5-card
I
pay-per-view.
know, I know.
I'm
This
giving a
match,
ticket to kick your butt, North Carolina. Yeah, continue.
this match just went on a little like way too long, and I didn't. The ending of Cody Rhodes attacking Logan Paul's friend to keep him from cheating was just
Mhm.
why. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It just didn't. It just didn't get it. I just didn't. I didn't understand it. Logan Paul brought it. Cody Rhodes brought it. The match was fine, but do I rate it an 80% or above? I probably rated about a 75%. So it's almost there, but not quite. So I'm gonna go thumbs down.
All right. All right. Respect. You're allowed to have a thumbs down here and there. That's why we do this. We don't always have to agree. I, once again, closing it with a thumbs up. I enjoyed this match. It was what I thought it was. I did not like the ending, but that doesn't knock it 20% down to get it to a
Yeah.
C. That random McGee dude that I don't know, once
And Logan
again, a ring
Paul,
of
like
famous.
he has somebody different every match with him to
Well, and it's that same guy giving him the nugs but this match alone with that freaking angle with him on the top rope and it's going around him before he does probably the greatest
yeah.
splash in all of wrestling. You got to put him up there. I know we got Eddie, I know we got RVD, but Logan Paul's frog splash might be coming up as that thing is
Dominic.
insane.
You got
Dominic, but that damn angle. Whoo, it was like watching art. I was like, holy cow. The fact they even do they have like things that they're doing everything now, but I liked it. Right person won. No one looked bad in this. Marvelous.
No. Yeah.
Glad it happened. The end. Now we can move on. So
yeah. I think that's what it was for me. It was just there was no two pay-per-views in a row with Cody Rhodes where there's been absolutely no build, and it was just a match. And I feel like if the letters were different and the branding was different, we wouldn't be rating this so high. Just because, but because again, it was a way too long. I thought AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes at Backlash was way better than Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. But
sounds a good match.
Yeah, it was, and it's hard to top that. But Logan Paul brought it. He has the best frog splash in wrestling. He gets the air that he gets on it is fantastic. So yeah, but yeah, I give this match about a 75%.
All right. So that's it. 2 thumbs with attitudes. Those were our rankings. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you agree with me, obviously, or if you disagree with Ryan, obviously, let us know in the comments. I can't let Mr. Serious know how he's feeling.
Yeah, I know. Why
so
serious?
The Joker over here. All right, let's get into it. Monday Night Raw, baby. Are you ready?
Always, man. Let's do it.
All right. This was a good little long thing. All right. The show opens with Gunther in the ring to brag about his victory. He's brought prestige back to the crown. Out comes Priest to tell him Randy actually won the match and he will beat him at SummerSlam. Now out comes Drew and Gunther casually leaves. Drew tells Priest he can't handle the pressure and will beat him at Clash. They bicker when Braun Strowman comes out for his match with JD McDonough. And Braun and Priest have a stare down. Braun defeats JD McDonough, obviously, and the Judgment Day try to jump him after the match. Liv says she'll beat Becky again tonight with no help. Ricochet, still without his belt, is he even a champion? Has a no contest with Dragunov when Braun Breaker spears them both, like viciously. Pierce is mad. Awesome Truth is selling ice cream, I guess. And Karrion Kross wants Xavier Woods to leave the New Day because I guess that faction isn't as great as his faction and join him. He gets laughed at. Next week, it's New Day versus AOP. Speaking of the AOP, they defeat the Creed brothers because why not? Sheamus out for a promo about Kaiser and how he will get his hands on him sooner or later. Kaiser pops up on the Tron. Sheamus goes to the back to get him, and they brawl back to the stage. Becky gives Valkyria a pep talk. Valkyria defeats Kairi Sane. Backstage, the Judgment Day are bickering once again, and Priest asks Dom if Rhea knows what he did. She does, and Priest tells him to do better. Io Sky destroys Damage Control locker room out of anger. What did locker room do? Rey Mysterio defeats Carlito, because why not? After the match, the Judgment Day get beat up by Rey. Literally, Rey beats all of them up until Damian Priest comes out and takes out the entire LWO. Chad Gable is in the back blaming Alpha Academy for his loss. Bronson Reed defeats Otis. So Chad Gable has Alpha Academy in the ring, and he's about to whip Otis with a belt. I am not making this up. Literally took his belt off his jeans to whoop him up, and Maxine stops him from doing it. And Sami interrupts. Chad beats him down and leaves with Alpha Academy. We got Baszler and Starks are ready for the tag champs when Sonya Deville offers them help. She can help me. They don't want it, I guess. And then Fire and Dawn, they come out and challenge him to a match. Liv Morgan defeats Becky Lynch in a cage match with the help from Dirty Dom once again. And the show ends. If you don't live in America, after Liv Morgan grabs Dirty Dom and smooches him, and I have never seen a straight man so disgusted by a sexy woman kissing them in my life as I'd had Dirty Dom and Liv, and that is the Monday Night Raw botch recap. I said botch again. I hate that word. I don't know why I keep saying it.
I gotta say, like, why didn't they air the kiss? Like, that's a huge storyline development. That's a huge, advancement in that story that we've all been waiting for, and they don't air it in the States. And I can't. Is it because they ran out of time? Is it because something ran way too long? I can't quite figure it out. But it was
so many theories. I
cannot believe that they did that. And like the WWE, I expect that with AEW, but not in WWE. Like WWE is I guess they're prone to making mistakes as well, but I've always thought of them as, the A league compared to everybody else. And I guess they make mistakes just like all of us, but that was a huge mistake not airing that kiss, because it was a big moment. And if you don't have X, if you don't have social media and you just watch on Monday Night Raw and that's it, that's your Raw intake for the week, and then you watch SmackDown or NXT, you would have not known that happened. And I think that's not good. That's not a good way to do it.
No, there'll be a ton of fans coming into next week or whatever being like, wait, what? They kiss? Not everybody is on the internet, like you said. But with you bringing that up, let's just talk about Judgment Day as a whole, because Braun just destroys JD McDonough. Then the Judgment Day try to beat him up and they lose. Then later on in the show, they are trying to jump after Carlito just gets his butt whooped by Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio legit beats all of them up. So that's back-to-back now where they just look like freaking clowns. What did I tell you last week, right? Looking good. This week, looking bad. Then they have Damian Priest come out and like demolish everybody by himself to prove a point. All right, I like that. I dig it. Then we have Liv Morgan win, and then they have the kiss. So it's like, I'm all over the place with Judgment Day, right? Because in my opinion, I'm feeling the Damian Priest is out. Liv Morgan is in. She's going to take over and just run with Judgment Day. I mean, they're not even like Finn Balor looks like JD McDonough right now. He was like trying to talk to Priest. Priest was like, meh. Like he went from like leader and best guy in the Judgment Day to random guy who doesn't get a voice. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And it took up the whole show. I mean, the whole 3 hours, each hour had something to do with Judgment Day. So if you're going to, why are we making them feel so unimportant? But yeah, I get it. But the kiss, the world was talking. So accident, on purpose, mess up. Here we are, right?
People are talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the right call. I think that we need something to make because the booking keeps them, we talk about their booking every other week and it just feels, they're topsy-turvy. But I feel like with Liv Dirty Dom, he's going to have some explaining to do. How does Rhea Ripley feel about this? Is there going to be more to this next week? Is Dominic going to try to deny? Because if you look at it, he's not really kissing her back, but he's also not pushing her away and being like, hey, I'm with mommy, or he's not really he kind of took it. So I am excited to see where they go with this going forward, and how does this lead to Damian Priest being kicked out? Does it lead to a revolt with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dom kicking him out? Does he quit the Judgment Day himself? Does he go babyface? Do they stay heel? So there's a lot of cool things coming up on the horizon with this, and I'm kind of ready for them to get there, but I want them to look strong whenever this happens, and them constantly losing all of their matches just makes them look weak. They need to look strong before the big breakup.
I agree. Well, other than JD, what else is there to talk about? We have, what do you want to bring up? I mean, it was mostly, the beginning, there was Gunther and them, but that was still Damian Priest. I like what they're doing with Damian and Drew. I do. I think Damian Priest looks good. We obviously all know that Priest is beating Drew with help from CM Punk. That's almost a foregone conclusion. And I think we all think Gunther is going to then beat Priest at SummerSlam, correct? And I mean, if that
Yeah,
happens,
it's a good reign.
that's March to August. Yeah, I think that's perfectly acceptable, right? March, April, May, June, July, 5-6 months. I think that's perfect. I know you want to talk about your boy Chad Gable, so bring it up. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this because one minute I'm digging it, and then the next minute I'm just not liking it at all. And
Mhm.
I liked it when he is bad mouthing the Alpha Academy, but this week he took it a little too far with the belt and whipping them and gonna whip Otis while Tozawa watches. I
Mhm.
will give Maxine Dupree credit. She straight Jay Uso'd uh, Chad Gable when he was gonna go hit him
Yeah,
with
she
the
did.
belt. She straight up grabbed him the same way Jey Uso grabbed Roman and prevented
Uh-huh.
him from hitting Sami Zayn during the tribal court thing that they had. So that was cool. But I don't know. I thought that segment was long. It I think there was like at least a couple of commercial breaks in between that segment. Uh yeah, I don't know. I I liked it. I liked it to a point, but I'm also just not really feeling Chad Gable. Like, how many opportunities is he gonna get? I did like that Sami Zayn brought that up in his promo. Like,
Mhm.
hey, you've had chance after chance, and sooner or later you got to look yourself in the mirror and stop blaming them. And I do think that when Otis and Maxine Dupree and Tozawa finally turn, they're gonna get a huge pop. But I am
Yeah.
worried that it's going to be like a one night thing, and then they're going to go back to obscurity. And I don't want that to happen for them. So um, you know, I liked it, but I didn't love it, type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's you know what I mean? Like same old, same old. He's done the same jokes, the same ridicule. He's not even clever with it. The whipping was a little too much for me. I mean, it just I don't know. And the fact that Otis was like okay with it. He was like, "All right, whip me." Like whipping, like the last time we saw whipping was with MJF and who do you whip? Wardlow, right? And Wardlow whipped. I
Yeah,
mean, but that was like a punishment. It was built, and even though I didn't like it then, at least it was like, all right, well, you're whipping him, dude. You're taking it. You're in under contract. You have to with MJF or whatever else. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I'm kind of we got to do something with this. And once again, you can't like what saved Priest this week, right? Judgment Day looks weak, but Priest came out and handled business himself, right? So that showed that he's like, look, like I can beat all these guys up, and you couldn't do it. Like a whole group of you couldn't even beat Rey Mysterio. I feel like Chad Gable hasn't shown that. Like, what is he? And I get
yeah,
he's a heel, but he'll still need to win. You can't just be beaten up. That was like Solo, right? Yo, man, losses, we don't take losses here. All you do is lose, bro. Like you got to be winning and doing big things to be able to carry that. You can't whip someone when you ain't winning. So,
exactly. Yeah. Like, it would be one thing if Chad Gable had won the Intercontinental Championship and he wanted to punish Otis for almost costing
mhm.
him or something, then I would have been behind it. But yeah, the fact that he's losing every week, um, why is he mad at Otis for losing to Bronson Reed when he just lost the night
Yeah.
before at King of the Ring? Like, I don't get it. I thought the whipping went a little too far, and it kind of went from, to me, it went from like, okay, I can get behind this. I'm starting to get more and more behind it each week, to this week was just completely stupid in my opinion
I
and
agree.
unnecessary.
I agree. All right, you ready for NXT, the good stuff, or should we?
Yeah.
Braun Strowman? Are you like? Can we not figure out this guy?
First of all, okay, the man is
You
jacked.
want to talk about that? He
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
he's jacked, but man, like, I feel like I could outrun Braun Strowman, and
Oh.
I am not in any shape whatsoever. I mean, I'm round's a shape, I guess, but he's in way better cardiovascular shape than I am, and I think I could outrun him. I mean, when he was on like a full sprint looking after JD McDonough, he looked he looked
Uh-huh.
completely. I don't even know what he looked like, a beached whale, just kind of completely just running. And I was like, what is going, like, why? And then
Uh-huh.
his hairdo, like, people want to make fun of John Cena and his bald spot. Like, what is up with
Oh.
Braun Strowman's hairdo? I mean, he's got like the mohawk going, but he also has like, I can't even describe it. But he's kind of balding a little bit. It's okay to go bald. It's okay.
Mhm.
But um yeah, I'm not feeling this Braun Strowman thing. I wanted him to be a part of this Bray Wyatt thing, which I thought would have been good for
Only thing
him.
that made sense. Yep.
Yeah, But now that he's not doing that and he's just going after everything that's happening with the judge, like why does he care what's happening with Judgment Day? I don't understand. Like they didn't injure him. They didn't put him on the shelf. It was
Mm-mm.
I don't even know what put him on the shelf. Like why is he involved in this? It makes no sense.
Yeah. And I feel like every time he's come back since his first run, it's just been like they don't know what to do with him. He's just a lost soul, and I don't know. I feel bad for him. Maybe he should have went somewhere. Maybe AEW or someone else didn't want him, but he's lost in
Maybe.
WWE. All
Yeah.
right, NXT time.
Yeah,
And
let's
this
get
is
into
probably
it.
the first week we're gonna have this as our best show. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Show opens with Ava introducing some chick named Sexy Red. I guess she shakes her butt and Booker T likes it, even though he's married. She's hosting Battleground 2, so that's good. I get to see this girl again. They show the new women's North American title. It looks good. Mitchin defeated Paxley to move on to the tournament. Ridge Holland defeats Riley Osborne, who refuses to shake his hand after the match. Backstage, the OC and Gallus bicker about who's bigger, and Aura Mensa was beat up. So that's another metaphor person beat up. The OC defeat Blade and Inoue. After, Axiom and Frazier out to attack, and it will be them versus the OC at Battleground. Dante Chen, who literally came from nowhere, and Lexus King will face off again tonight. Trick Williams and Javon are hanging out with Sexy Red. That was awful. Roxanne Perez out to brag about how great she is as a champion, and Ava announces her next opponent. It is flippin' Jordan Grace, the TNA Knockouts champion. They will face off at Battleground. Holy shit. Eddie Thorpe is reborn. Chase U is, I don't know, friends, but not. Who knows? Lola Vice defeats Ariana Grace. After, Baszler tries to attack her. Backstage, Isa and Carmen brawl, and Charlie Dempsey wants their cutback, so Kemp gets a shot next week for it. Dante Chen beats Lexus King in like 2 minutes. I guess he's like the 1-2-3 kin. After the match, though, King destroys him. A Josh Briggs vignette about his career is shown. Sean Spears is a mentor now, I guess. I don't know. The Tony D family are ready to beat the No Catch Quarter Crew at their own game. Kalani Jordan defeats Ren Sinclair to move on in the tournament. We get Stevie Hunter versus Jordan Grace next week on NXT. So it ain't just a one-off, ladies and gentlemen. She is wrestling in this show. Wesley says he'll beat Oba. Trick and Javon defeat Gallus in the main event. Last Legend is out to talk to Trick when the lights go out, and Ryan enjoys wrestling jizzed in his pants.
Did. Yes, sir.
Ethan Page appears and beats down Trick Williams. Ethan was the man who attacked Metaphor, and he says he
deserved it. Yeah.
That Trick. And he holds
he
the
will.
belt up to close the show, and that's the NXT Wow show in recap. I know the two things we're going to talk about. Let's start with your homeboy first. Go ahead.
Actually, before we do that, let's talk about Shawn Michaels. Let's talk about Shawn Michaels real quick. Did you see that he changed
the greatest of all time?
His picture on X to Shawn Michaels in a chef suit. So
the old one when he was like cooking in DX.
Yeah, because he changed it immediately after NXT ended because he's cooking right now. And this episode was absolutely fire and probably the best episode of NXT that maybe ever, but one of the best I've seen in a long, long time. And I got to give him credit. Both Jordan Grace and Ethan Page, complete surprises. Nobody knew they were happening. Nobody knew they were backstage. Usually you get reports of so-and-so is backstage. There's a big surprise headed for NXT. There was none of that anywhere. Nobody saw it coming. It was good stuff all around.
None of these real journalists like Suplex Media or Sean Ross Sapp or Dave Meltzer, none of them knew? Ugh.
Yeah, none of them knew that they were backstage. So it was
weird.
Yeah. Just it was nice to be surprised for once. And yeah, Ethan Page, man, put the belt on him. Put the belt on him. Take it off. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. But no, I think we're about to see. I've always been a huge fan of Ethan Page. I thought he was way underused and underutilized in AEW. I think he's better than what they gave him in AEW. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out how good Ethan Page is in NXT. And the fact that I think WWE clearly sees something in him because they're putting him right in the NXT championship picture immediately, instead of having him go after Oba or go after, like Lexus King. Like they obviously didn't see much in Lexus King. They probably saw that he needed a lot of work because he hasn't had an NXT championship shot yet. And then here's Ethan Page going into it right away in his first NXT match. So I'm excited about it. I'm happy that he's in NXT. He is going to. I think he's going to thrive in this environment, and I think we're gonna see the Ethan Page that we should have seen in AEW. And Tony Khan's going to be kicking himself for not re-signing him.
I mean, it was a big moment. The crowd reaction was they started chanting after a while, but I did like that the announcer said, wasn't he in all AEW? He did say that. And then he did call him all whatever.
All ego Ethan Page.
All ego Ethan Page. He's a really cool dude. He's like a collector of things and stuff like
he's
that.
A cool guy.
He's a really cool guy. Did you see the promo he cut like on a social media afterwards? Just
saying
shows that
saying that he's not re-signed. He hasn't signed anywhere. He's not under contract with anybody. Yeah, it was good stuff.
That's who he is. There's levels to this, and he could have been a higher level guy. He had a hell of a match with MJF during MJF's title reign. Yeah, I mean, this is big deal, and good for Trick Williams, because Trick Williams is still green. I think people forget that. I know NXT is for the green, but he's still green, man. He hasn't wrestled too much as other people have. Ethan Page will help him, elevate him, and I think it'll help Ethan Page. And I see Ethan Page being a champion not too long in the future, because I think they're hyping this Trick and they want him to go to the big show. So who knows? Maybe he will. Yeah. Maybe he will. Maybe him and Lash Legend will go and be a team together in SmackDown or Raw, and they'll give it to him. Give it to Ethan Page. I gotta say too, though, let's also talk, because this surprise was like, holy crap. You texted me saying there was all these surprises, and I was like, oh, Jordan Grace. But I think this is bigger, just in the sense that you're having the TNA Women's Knockouts Champion, TNA Women's Champion, come and challenge maybe your greatest NXT Women's Champion in a title. I wish it would have been title for title, but maybe they didn't want to do that. But holy cow, that was like, boom. And then when she was like, I'll wrestle you next week, I'm like, wait, we're just like, so this is what I wanted to get into. We got some time. This is two things we're going to talk about, but bruv, supposedly Triple H has worked out a deal. Supposedly we're going to see Roxanne Perez go wrestle on Impact. That's what's already being said, that they're going to be swapping over people. In your opinion, is Tony Khan, is this like a, I mean, I've been recording Impacts. I have like 4. I haven't watched them yet. And I was like, dude, I got to watch Impact, got to catch up. I haven't recorded. Now I'm like, oh no, I got to watch Impact. WWE is huge, man. Like WB, everyone, I heard some people, I think on Busted Open, Homeboy said, oh no, WB loves AEW. How do you know that? The only person that says WB loves AEW is Tony Khan. There is not, if they loved them, they would have been signed already. They have not been signed. Nothing is going on with them. I'm not saying they're not going to get signed, but their ratings are disgusting. This week of Dynamite wasn't that great. And now you have WWE pairing with Impact. I get that they pair up with the CLCC or whatever. That's so huge in New Japan. Dude, TNA and WWE, if this is like legit, and if it's TNA and NXT, which makes more sense, are they going to buy them out? Are they going to buy them out? They've been looking for sellers. What do you think? What's going on here? This is good? Is this bad? Or is this like, what is this just fun for fans?
What do you think? I think it's everything.
Joe Henley's coming, or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's all fantastic. And it starts with Jordan Grace. And like you said, who knows what happens with Joe Hendry? We just had a segment on SmackDown with AJ Styles, who is from TNA, saying that he doesn't really know where his career is going to go from here. He doesn't really know what's left for him. What if he goes over to TNA and has a program against Moose, or has a program against Dolph Ziggler, or something along those lines? And then so I think it could be good for guys like that maybe don't have a place right now on WWE television. They can do the old swapperoo and go down to TNA for a little while. I like that they're treating it. I like that they're partnering with NXT instead of the main roster for now, but I could see it going over into the main roster, and you do talent swaps, and you put AJ Styles over there for a minute, and you get somebody else from TNA, Joe Hendry, for example, who's one of the most over guys. He's only going to get more over with this song and everything on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown as a result. I like it, man. I'm liking all of this. I think this is. I also find the timing a little. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but AEW has a big pay-per-view coming up this month called, or in June, called Forbidden Door, where they partner and wrestle guys. It's AEW versus New Japan and CMLL and all these other companies out there. And I just find this funny that, now WWE is teaming up with partnering with NXT, or NXT is partnering with TNA right before the Forbidden Door. I don't know if it's, I don't know, but I think this is going to be better than anything that Forbidden Door can put together. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, the Forbidden Door is just that they all wrestle each other. All of the guys we're on right now, they're all wrestle daily on It's the Forbidden Door is a joke.
But I also think it's a good thing for like Nick Nemeth, who was released from the WWE and now he is over in TNA and he's killing it in TNA. And maybe this is a way for him to come back and showcase, hey, this is what you got. Hey, you want to partner with us? Well, this is what you missed out on. I'm the best over here now. Maybe it leads to him coming back to WWE. You have Matt Hardy, who is doing the broken Matt Hardy thing in TNA. And there's been rumors that he might be coming back to WWE and that he's not under contract. He's just only helping TNA out as a favor. Well, maybe he's doing this because he knows more than we do about this partnership, and maybe it's going to lead to him coming back to WWE. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing for all these released people. Dana Brooke is over there. She's doing really fantastic things as can't remember her. What's her name in TNA? It's
I forget. Like I said, I haven't recorded. I gotta watch them. I can't
remember her name. It's like not Lash Legend, but it's something like that. But
it's definitely not Lash Legend.
There's
already a Lash Legend.
But no, she's but I think it's a good way to showcase those ex WWE superstars that were released, and maybe it can lead to them coming back in the future, and maybe also showcasing that AEW is not the end all be all when people leave WWE.
No, and TNA and NXT is a good fit. TNA, WWE is not. TNA, NXT is perfect. And then you add in like the OC being here, Natalia coming over. Yeah. We have it's just NXT is cooking, man. You take out Sexy Red, whatever the hell she was brought in for. Even my kids, I think my kids kind of know her. She has a song with Drake, but dude, that's not hip hop, bro. Get the out of my face with that.
Yeah,
but
really gonna tout Drake right now? I don't know. After he got cooked by Kendrick Lamar. But
see, I don't think he got cooked, but we can go into that another day. But yeah, it's just all I don't know. But anyway, yeah. But NXT, man,
Ash by Elegance. That's Dana Brooke's name, not Lash
Ash
Legend.
By Elegance. That's
right. Ash by
that's
Elegance.
right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So, but anyway, man, anything else, or is that? I mean, that was just really.
That's really it. NXT was on fire. Yeah.
It was. And I think the matches were good. I love the North American Women's Champ title thing.
Yeah, the title looks great. I like the tournament that they're doing. I think that. I've been kind of hard on NXT over the last few weeks. I've been saying that it needs a shot in the arm. It kind of needs that star power now that Carmelo and Braun and Dragunov have been drafted to the main roster, and now Valkyria is gone, and Blair Davenport's gone, and they're all on the main roster. And then I think this week gave NXT the shot in the arm that it needed, and I think it's going to propel them to a whole new level.
Really did. They'll help each other. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the WWE week in review. We had the pay-per-view, or the PLE, Raw, NXT. Good stuff. I look forward to this week. I'm excited for SmackDown, excited for Raw, and I'm excited definitely for NXT to see where they go with that. But with that said, it is time for our segment where we are going to give some things. I know you got a song,
highs
right?
And lows, let's go.
Here it is.
This is highs and lows. It's time for the list. Who's killing it and who should probably go and sit? You're the best getting listed up high as hell. It's for the lows. They can come up here and take a L. Yes, they got their fingers on the button, yeah. Never sweat the mid, just the best and who run it. I'ma let them chill, let them run through the list of names. This is highs and lows. Go ahead and do your thing.
I will.
Let's do it, man. Let's do our thing.
All right. So we'll start with highs and with lows. We'll do 2 each. As always, Ryan enjoys wrestling. What was one of your highs this week?
We didn't talk about this, and I may have done it on purpose, but one of my highs right now is Braun Breaker. What they're doing with Braun on the main roster, I'm digging it. I'm loving it. I like that he went scorched earth last week and beat up that jobber and hit him in the back of the head with a chair while he was on the steel steps. And then this week he's spearing Ricochet backstage and Dragunov. And, he's just a complete loose cannon right now, all because he didn't get put into the King of the Ring tournament. I'm loving it. I think they're propelling him to superstar status. I think he is. I don't know if you've seen these replays of him running through the crowd, but that man,
yes,
we were talking about Braun Strowman's speed, Braun Breaker's speed. My God, that man can run. I mean, I don't have how fast he's going, but geez Louise, like those spears he's got to be hitting them at least, maybe 5 to 10 miles per hour. I don't know how fast he's going, but man, it looks super fast. And maybe it's a camera trick, I don't know, but he looks way faster than Braun Strowman. But he is killing it. I can't wait to see what he does next, and that's what I want whenever I watch WWE or any wrestling program. I want to be able to tune in next week to see what they're going to do, and I can't wait to see what Braun Breaker does next.
I know, I hate that too. I mess up every time I'm writing my notes. I'm always like Braun Breaker did this. No, you're on it, and that's like booking 101. How to book a monster, how to book somebody that has talent that you really want to push. I'm more fearful for the people who take the damn spears. I feel like
gosh, I know.
at me, I'm probably like I'm gonna die. Like fall with it. Like, but no, he's killing it. Being booked perfectly, him not in the King in the Ring tournament made way more sense. It was kind of like when you put Mr. Growly Pants over there from the Bloodline, and what did that do for him? Now I'm kind of like meh again.
Yeah.
Like don't put people in things when you don't want them to take a loss. Like Valkyria, that was different. She didn't even need to be in it, so her being in it and losing the finals was a win. But when you don't have to be in it unless you're going to win and you lose, it doesn't make you look as good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right.
I'm digging what they're doing with Braun for sure.
For sure. Good first one. All right. Mine, I'm going to start with mistakes. And that's right. I think the mistakes were highs this week. I know you said you didn't dig it, but Randy Orton, Gunther, match was perfect. The mistake got them to continue talking. Not only did it get them talking, it built for a good little thing for Priest to make fun of him for Randy Orton. I guarantee we'll have something to say about it on SmackDown and get a push from that. Sometimes mistakes work in favors in life, and I think it did work here. Yeah. I think we're going to go with it. And not only that, same thing. Liv and Morgan kissing. Yeah, hell yeah, that should have been on there. Heck yeah, it should have been shown, but it wasn't. And guess what? TikTok, all they did was talk about it. Twitter, RX, all they did was talk about it. Every podcast I've listened to, all they have done is talk about it. Everyone's talking about the kiss. It's getting millions and millions of views, eyeballs once again. And now I think more people are interested in Liv and Dom than they were before if they would have just ended with it. So the end, it did end abruptly because they were just like staring at each other again. You're like, what the heck? But yeah, I think sometimes mess ups work. And I do believe but I do not buy 1 second anyone telling me that was done on purpose. I do not buy that. WWE doesn't make mistakes. Okay, but USA does. So I don't think they did the overrun. I think the timing was 10 seconds off. And I think Liv and Dom just didn't. It just, life freaking happens, man. Like they don't, NXT always goes over. Dynamite always goes over. Raw never goes over. So I think USA was like done. And then they were like, oh, well, I thought you said you were ending with them. They were supposed to kiss. Whoops. But it worked in their favor. Sometimes mistakes can be good things.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that.
Ask my children. That was a joke. Both my kids were playing. That was a joke.
But no,
that was a mistake. So you're welcome, universe. Yeah, continue.
But no, I think that's a good way of looking at it for sure, because I was a little miffed when they didn't air the kiss. But yeah, but you're right. Everyone was talking about it the next day. It's all we spent the first 20 minutes of our podcast talking about today was that kiss and the shoulder up and everything. So yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. That they even with the mistakes, they were highs.
Yes, sir. All right, what's your second one?
My second high. All right, talked about that one. Okay, I'll go back to WWE's relationship with TNA. I think that's my other high. I know we talked about it with NXT, but
it's okay.
I think it's a really good thing for not just NXT but WWE to partner with any other wrestling company out there. And, if it happens to be TNA, it happens to be TNA. But, because for years we've heard about, TNA's worked with AEW in the past and AEW's working with New Japan. And we hear about all these companies partnering together. You've never really heard of the WWE partnering with anybody. They never wanted to partner with any other wrestling company because they are the end all be all. They are the major league of professional wrestling. Everybody wants to be the WWE. Why should we want to partner with them? That was always their mindset and their attitude. And, maybe that was a Vince McMahon thing. Maybe that was just, the leadership thing. Maybe that was, I don't know what the reasoning was, but that you never really heard of them partnering with other wrestling companies. And now this year you've had Shayna Baszler go over to Bloodsport. You had Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble, and now you're having a partnership with TNA in NXT as well. And I'm just curious to see how this goes, what happens from here. You also had Rey Mysterio, I think, did a match in New Japan or All Japan against I can't remember who it was, but they've done all kinds of partnerships, and I think it just shows how great Triple H is and how in tune with the business he really is, and that he's willing to do this kind of stuff, because Vince McMahon, he was not in touch with what was going on outside of the WWE bubble. And maybe he didn't care. Maybe he just wasn't aware, or he just didn't think it was good. But I think Triple H is more in tune with what's happening. He knows who the free agents are. He knows who the top talents are. He knows what's going on. And I think him partnering with TNA is only going to benefit both TNA and WWE in a big way.
I fully agree with everything you said. And the biggest one is that it's not what used to be done. And Vince is so stubborn.
Yeah.
And I think he was hurting WWE for the last however many years he was
I
doing
completely
it.
agree.
So yeah, Triple H has been, the freaking Logan Paul Levesque era is off to a great start, and I am all for it and digging it. So I agree with you. It's and like I said, I think it's going to hurt AEW, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, we'll
I
see.
hope not. I hope not. We need
Especially with
organization.
NXT moving to the CW.
Mhm.
It could be a good way to get TNA a TV deal as well. On major television, because if you start showcasing their talent on the CW, people are gonna be like, oh, let me hear about this company, and then boom,
Yep.
you're just drawing interest to them, and maybe they get a TV deal out of it.
100%. Got to fire Tony Khan. I'm telling you, just let him be the money. He needs to stop
Yeah,
booking. All right,
something.
my other high is surprises, and not the surprises that happen, but surprises in general. Something that AEW lacks in is that they're afraid of the surprise, like the internet's going to spoil it. But Triple H has shown over and over again, this isn't the first two that we've had, that even in a day and age where cameras and internet and gossip and lies in the back, that if you keep things on wrap and you trust people and you probably tell them, hey, I'll give you even more money if this thing's a surprise. I'm assuming they get a bag for that. I'm sure they're like, hey, we're going to kick you another 10,000 if you can keep this stuff on wrap. The fact that surprises can still happen in 2024 is great for wrestling. I'm not saying that if it's not a surprise, it's bad. I do like sometimes when we knew Punk was coming, it was still epic. I'm just saying that surprises in 2024, I never thought it would happen. It brings me back to the Scott Hall walking down in WCW and freaking Lex Luger and other things. I just think it's awesome. I'm here for it. Surprises for the win, in my opinion. The highlight of this week.
No, I agree. And we hardly ever get them these days. And when we do, it reminds me of my childhood, of when I could watch wrestling spoiler free without the internet. And those were glorious days. And the surprises that occurred this week in WWE were fantastic, and I hope to see more of them in the future.
Agreed. All right. What's your L though? Do you have any lows? Come on, man.
I do. I've got one right now that has
all right, we could just do one each. Let's do it. What do you got?
So this one has a big asterisk next to it because it could change as of Friday Night SmackDown, but I'm gonna go the Bloodline 2.0 storyline right now. It
was a high earlier. Okay,
it was, yeah. And again, I think I just think they're kind of stagnant, and the Bloodline. This happens to the Bloodline a lot, where they're just completely stagnant, and then something happens, and then it's the best story in wrestling, and then they're stagnant for a few weeks, and then it's the best story in wrestling. Right now, they're at that point where, okay, we brought Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa back, but lately they haven't been wrestling. They just lost in the King of the Ring semifinals to Randy Orton. Solo Sikoa he hasn't had a match in God knows how long. I don't even. He hasn't had he wrestled at Backlash and didn't do anything at King of the Ring.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just not hitting for me. And I know there's these rumors that Jacob Fatu is about to debut, and who knows what happens with Zilla Fatu, and where's The Rock stand in all this. And maybe that's what we're trying to get to, and we're just trying to kill time until we get there. But I don't know. It just feels like every week it's the same thing. Paul Heyman's afraid to throw the ones up, and he's over here saying that I couldn't get Tonga Loa into Saudi Arabia, but then they don't follow up on it on King of the Ring with anything. And then saying that Solo Sikoa is being a loose cannon, and that he's talked to the tribal chief. That's really all we're getting, is that Solo's lying to Paul Heyman, and it's been that way for 3 or 4 weeks now. So it's just, again, tomorrow night on SmackDown, they could debut Jacob Fatu, and it'll be the greatest storyline in wrestling again. But right now they're just a little stagnant, and I'm kind of ready for them to move to that next chapter.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a really great WWE week, so it's hard to find lows, but I agree with you. And I'm going to counter it because I was just going to say sexy red and then turn the camera off. But I'm going to follow you with like the same type of thing because I agree with everything you said. I'm going to do the same thing, but for Chad Gable in the Alpha Academy, that it was a hit. And now I just feel like with the Bloodline, they're just doing the same thing. And that was my low. I didn't like it at all. He was backstage again saying the same lines. He's not even clever. Like, Chad, come on, you're an intelligent man. You can say something better than like, hey, dum-dum, hey, fat guy, hey,
Goldilocks and the 3 brain cells.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what he says at top, but it's just all like cheesy lines. And then like, thanks a lot for helping me lose this week. And now let's go in the ring. Oh, you lost. Now I'm going to whip you with a belt. And it's just all like, I'm just over it. We need to do something like you said, just like Solo. You can't just like, Chad's losing in matches. And yet he's like the alpha male in the group.
He's mad
I'm not digging it right now. Now, next week, they can be like, bam, and hit us with it and then switch it up. But I'm at this moment, just like you with the Bloodline 2.0 all of a sudden, because I was all in on the Bloodline Wolfpack. I'm with you on both of these now where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we're starting to lose steam. We need to pick it up and pick it up now.
We need the Rock back. We need Roman back. We need something to advance it. We need Otis to turn. Yeah, something.
Or maybe have Solo beat Randy Orton this week. I don't know. We just need something. Like we need some wins. Like let's get this train moving. Yeah. For sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our WWE edition of Two Dudes with Attitudes of Wrestling podcast. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we will be back tomorrow with our AEW edition, where we'll do all things. We'll talk about the pay-per-view Double or Nothing, Dynamite, and have a great segment with you. It was kind of an up and down for AEW, so we'll break into that. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. We had that one video, as we talked about, that got a ton of views, our podcast, ton of comments. Keep it up. Let us know how we did on our thumbs up, thumbs down rankings, 2 thumbs with attitudes ranking system. Let us know on our opinions on everything. And if you just want to hear me talk here and there, or hear a top 5 that you can disagree with me about and saying that I have no idea what I'm talking about and do I even watch wrestling, you can listen to that at HBD Denton on all social medias. And and with me as always is the man with the plan.
It's Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. I promise I'm going to go back to posting on TikTok. It's been a couple of weeks now, but I'm going to go back there here shortly. I just got some stuff going on and battling a cold, so it's not been a fun week. But go follow me at Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all social platforms. Follow us on Two Dudes with Attitudes on TikTok as well, and then at Two Dudes PC on X. We're blowing up, man. We're almost at 1,200 followers, so we need all the on YouTube. We need all the love and support we can get. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate all the love there. Leave us a 5-star rating and review, and show us some love because this is we're gonna blow up this year. I say it week in and week out, but 2024 is gonna be the year of the dudes. That's for sure.
I agree. We're already there. Two Dudes with Attitudes. Wolfpack. We out.
With attitudes. Let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.